Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Abby. I am a solo sober mom. I co-parent, I work, I'm a bartender, I'm a content creator, and I am here to share my life with you all in hopes that it maybe inspires other people or helps other people. So if that is anything you are interested in and you are not already subscribed, be sure to do so. And if you hit the notification bell, you will never miss a fresh upload. I don't really know how to start this off. It is so important to me to remain real and truthful and honest with you guys, as honest as I can, while still keeping boundaries, of course. But I just wouldn't feel right not making this video. And so please bear with me. This isn't easy to talk about because Bobby and I are pretty great at co-parenting for our age, and I'm proud of us. However, it's not all healthy and rainbows and butterflies and sunshine all of the time. And it can be really, really hard with social media and doing my best to be transparent with you guys because I also want to maintain some level of privacy, not only for Bobby and I, but mainly for Myla. Because she deserves that. And so it gets a little tricky, but I still believe I'm able to kind of chat with you guys and let you know what's been going on and how I've been feeling while still maintaining boundaries and privacy to an extent. And I hope that you can respect that, and I hope that that makes sense to you all. Welcome to the dark side of co-parenting. Like I said, it's not always easy, and I'm afraid that we've portrayed that. And so I just want to level that out by telling you guys the truth. I've been giving you the worst. Obviously, it's no secret to a lot of you that watch our co-parent content that we are somewhat flirty with one another. We are closer than the average co-parent, and that is okay because neither of us have a partner. And you know, we get the comments. I see the comments. Oh, this is great, but what are you going to do when one of you find a partner? This is great, but nobody's ever going to want to date you, and this isn't ideal forever. And I see the comments, and I like to believe that I'm able to make my own version of co-parenting that is different, not very typical, but works. And I feel like I've been able to maintain that pretty well. Except I've been realizing lately that I've been giving way too much of myself just to maintain peace within the relationship, the co-parenting relationship. And the biggest issue with that is Myla's watching me. Children don't listen to what we say, they watch what we do. So I could discuss boundaries for days with Myla, in which I do. I've taught her how to set boundaries. I've taught her the importance of boundaries. And I wasn't taught boundaries when I was growing up, and neither was Bobby. Bobby wasn't taught that either. So it's a little bit uncomfortable, but I've worked really hard on boundaries and how to set them. And I owe a lot of that to sobriety, because sobriety kind of forced me to work on myself, right? The substance wasn't the problem, it was the solution. So once I removed the substance, the problem needed taken care of. And so I was able to really dig into myself and heal a lot of parts of me that otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to if it weren't for, addiction and sobriety. And so, I've learned a lot. The problem when you attempt to set boundaries, they're unable to even focus on the boundary, see the boundary for what it is, because they can't get over the fact that a boundary was set with them. They take it as an insult. They get angry, and this is a big reason on why people don't set boundaries, especially people that are new at this. It's difficult enough to be vulnerable and tell somebody how you feel and to set a boundary with them, but to receive a negative reaction from that, it makes it even harder. And I just want to say, don't let that discourage you from continuing to set boundaries. You are worthy of setting boundaries with the people that you love. I want to quickly pause and introduce today's sponsor. Today's video is being sponsored by Aura. Aura is an Apple award-winning app that can help us with all things mental and spiritual health. Consider it Spotify for the mind and soul. There is nothing in this world that brings me anxiety and stress the way co-parenting does. I think my favorite thing about it is that it is personalized for you specifically. So you will take a quiz, do a little assessment when you first download the app, and it's going to cater to you. What I have found to be super helpful with Aura is the parenting side of things. So the parenting podcast I've been loving. There's actually even like nursery rhymes and things for your children, which is incredible. The possibilities within this wellness app are endless, and I think what makes it so unique is that it's not a one size fits all. Don't underestimate what wellness, spirituality, and good mental health can do for you in life. Aura's content is created by hundreds of expert coaches and therapists from all around the world. Aura has truly reinvented the wheel when it comes to mindful and wellness apps. If you utilize my special link in the description, you can start Aura out for free. The first 500 people are going to get to try this, and you'll get 25% off. With a community of over 5 million people utilizing Aura, it's no surprise why 97% of people have reported that they have found progress within themselves over the first few uses of the app. $5 a month to invest in yourself. When you choose to invest back into yourself by utilizing an app like Aura, there's something about it where the universe just says, blessings, babe. For anybody that's willing to actually listen to this, which I had a hard time explaining this to Bobby because he wasn't in a space that he could listen to me, but boundaries are a form of love. Boundaries mean that I love you enough that I still want you in my life. I just have a couple terms and conditions, right? It's not entitlement. It's not, I need you to be this, this, and this, and I need you to change who you are. It's simple things that one may require in order to maintain the relationship, whether that be a friendship, whether it be your mom or your dad, whether that be a child or a partner or a co-parent. And so I've worked really hard to learn how to set boundaries, and unfortunately Bobby's not really in that space. And so there's been a few things, but one main thing that I'm just realizing I shouldn't be okay with, and I am okay with it strictly because I don't want to rock the co-parenting boat. Just not a good example for Myla to just allow people to like walk all over you simply because you don't want to rock the boat. And I've been doing that for quite some time within my co-parenting relationship. And that doesn't mean that my co-parenting relationship isn't what I've said it is, because, you know, everything I've posted about us, it's genuine and it's honest, it's real. It's just, there's another side of that. You see what I'm saying? It's not all perfect, and that's what I'm here trying to explain today. And I'm sorry if this gets a little bit confusing because I'm, like I said, trying to also maintain our privacy. So I apologize if you're like, wait, well, what? You know, I recently attempted to set a small boundary with Bobby. It was just kind of overlooked. It wasn't really acknowledged. And I just kind of went along with it. And then not even like an hour later, the exact boundary that I set was broken. And when I tried to communicate that I was upset, that I felt there was a lack of respect, he walked out the front door and blocked my number. So that's where we're at currently. It's not always good. It's not always perfect. I'm not sure what happened to the airplane mode tactic because this is sure as hell is not airplane mode. So I'm not angry at him. I feel sad. I feel like I'm not respected, which is a really big bummer because I want Myla to see her dad respecting her mom. Not that he would ever disrespect me in front of Myla because he would never do that, but these smaller things like disregarding my boundaries and I don't know, it's just hurtful. It's very hurtful, and I don't ever want it to discourage Myla from setting boundaries with people because I want her to be strong and I want her to know her worth, and I want her to know that she gets to set boundaries with anybody she wants, including me. And I tell her that all the time, you know? And so I just like got to the point where I realized I have to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, because I have a little human who's watching me and looking up to me, and I'm doing the absolute best I can, you guys. I really, really am. It's such a complicated dynamic that I'm trying to make work. It's just not easy. I hope that you guys will meet me with grace. I understand if there are questions, and that's fine. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that I can. Bobby and I do argue never in front of Myla. It definitely happens. I'm trying my best to be like the healthiest version of me as I possibly can. And I'm also in this phase where work is taking up so much of my time in my life, and that's okay. I chose that. It's really important to me to stay in a healthy place and stay focused and set boundaries where I see needed. And I don't know, man, it's just hard. I just wish that the ego could be set aside a little bit in order for people to actually just be able to take a look at the boundary and like what I'm saying and process it and just kind of respect it. It's okay if it takes time to like figure it out and maintain a relationship where we're able to like hold those boundaries. And like, I'm also willing to accept boundaries too. Like, I understand if somebody was in my life and they just weren't like, they were just blowing through all of my boundaries and it was just a big old mess, I would just remove them from my life. But if I'm willing to set a boundary, that means I love somebody enough, I want to keep them in my life. I just need you to work with me on these little tiny things. It's like really all it is. And in my opinion, it's just kind of the best way to word it. Because again, I know it can be difficult to set boundaries. To kind of start it out with like an affirmation is helpful. But sometimes I just want to be heard for what I'm saying. I'm sure other women relate to that. I don't want to be sexualized. Again, I'm raising a little girl. So setting these kinds of boundaries are like mad important. And I'm curious of if any of you relate to this. So yeah, my day yesterday was already rough. I was trying my best to kind of stay off of social media because I was just really, really overwhelming and overworking myself. And, Bobby wanted to come over and I just kind of said to him, like, I just don't think it's a good idea for me to film today because of my mood and everything I'm going through. The fact that my night ended the way it did after already having a really bad day was just like really, really unfortunate. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that Bobby's not a good person or a good dad. I'm just trying to shed some light on the dark parts of co-parenting because they exist in every relationship. And right now, currently in ours, there's a boundary issue. There's a boundary issue. And my biggest concern with this boundary issue is Myla. And that's why I'm doing the harder thing, which is bringing it up. And unfortunately, I had a feeling I was going to get this reaction of just like total shutdown, goodbye. And that's exactly what I got. He blocked my number because I tried to send him a text. I'm going to read over this and see if there's any parts of it I can at least read to you. So this is like a little bit of what I said. I was angry. Mind you, I was angry. So I wasn't the nicest in this. Again, he blocked my number, so he didn't even see this. So hi, if you're watching this video, maybe you can read it now. But I just basically said, I'm trying here because I didn't grow up knowing healthy relationships either. You can't stand the thought of a boundary without it making you uncomfortable. And the moment I expressed my frustration that you have completely disregarded and ignored a very small, simple boundary that I kindly set, you were unable to even hear that I feel disrespected or frustrated without getting up and walking out. In the world I choose to live in, that's unacceptable behavior, and I'm not going to continue a close co-parenting relationship. And that's all this really comes down to is like, I've told you guys so many times, like, obviously our co-parenting relationship isn't the norm. Obviously we choose to be closer than the average co-parent. That's a choice. But it's also a privilege. And Bobby gets to say the same thing. If I were to disregard his boundaries, I understand having a close co-parenting relationship, it is a privilege, and that goes both ways. He can set boundaries too, and I would love that actually, but I'm just trying to explain that I'm unable to do this like very close co-parenting relationship if my simple small boundaries like can't be respected. I also understand that it's not the most ideal, especially if like one of us, found or had a partner. Obviously our relationship dynamic would change, and Bobby and I spoke about that in one of our previous videos. But right now, neither one of us are doing that. Like, I know for me, I'm not looking for anybody right now because I'm very career oriented. I don't know what Bobby's stance is. It's not my place to say anyways, but so it's okay right now. But yeah, whenever the day came, if one of us did find a partner, what kind of resentment would that create because of our close co-parenting relationship? Every comment that I get that's like, but da-da-da-da-da, I see it, I feel it, I get what you're saying, I do. Behind the scenes, there's more. Maintain a healthy co-parenting relationship. I'm trying so hard. It's just that I've recently realized that I'm sacrificing pieces of me that I shouldn't have to sacrifice in order to maintain this relationship, and it's just not fair. So what do? Do I rock the boat to allow myself that strength and ability to say like, hey, I deserve more than this. I should get to do that because guess what? I want Myla to do that. I want Myla to do that. I don't want Myla to struggle with boundaries. I don't want Myla to let people walk all over her because she is too afraid to set a boundary and she would just rather not rock the boat. And that's exactly where I am right now. And I can't be there. I can't be in that place because I have a child. The details of these arguments, of course, she doesn't know, but ultimately, I'm gonna have to learn these boundaries. I'm not mad at the father of my child. I'm not talking crap on him to the internet. That's not what this is at all. It's my platform. This is about me and my life and what's currently going on in my life. I just want to make it clear that I still maintain respect for my daughter's father no matter what. And I'm just here to give you my side of the story, right? There are two sides of every story, and this is my side. He needs time. That's okay. That's totally cool. Again, we're just co-parents, so I'm very grateful that we have his mother, and she's who I co-parent with generally anyways, mainly because she lives with him and we are both women, and so we're both more detailed, and you know how that goes. That's just the way we prefer it. Like Bobby and I have said in previous videos, we are very grateful to have that like middle person to speak through when and if necessary. Although I also feel bad putting all of that on her emotionally because I'm sure it's a lot for her sometimes. But yeah, we are doing our best. Times are constantly changing. New things are happening. And there's just always new challenges that come up within co-parenting, within a co-parenting relationship. Whether, one of the parents has another partner or neither have a partner, there are going to be things that come up. And when you're doing all of this for the first time ever, it's very much a learn as you go type of experience. Therapy has done wonders for me as a single mom who's doing her best to co-parent. Highly recommend it. And that's really all I can do is continue to build up myself and be a better and a bigger person and be a good example for Myla and control me and nobody else because that's all I can do. But don't be afraid to set boundaries even if you get a negative reaction. That's really my little tip for the day. But I hope that my vulnerability makes a little bit of sense to you. And again, I hope that I'm met with grace because this is hard, you guys. There's a whole little human involved. And I love that little human more than anything in this world. And I want to always do my best for her. And I'm sure you mamas and you dads understand that. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything you want me to dive into deeper, or any recommendations, concerns, anything at all, drop it below in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, that's okay. You don't have to be. But if you'd like to, definitely hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. If you never want to miss a fresh upload, you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. And be sure to follow me on all of my other platforms. I try to keep it as easy as possible. Abby Fickley on every platform. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, all of the places. Just check out my Beacons bio. My Amazon storefront is in there as well. Any discount codes that you want to take advantage of, that's everywhere that you can find me. I will keep you guys posted on the situation. As you can probably tell, I'm emotionally drained. This is like hard for me to even make right now, and I don't know if I'm making any sense. But I'm just trying to be real and vulnerable with you guys. And this is the dark side of co-parenting, babe. All right, well, I love you guys. I promise I'm okay. I'm actually going to move on with my day and go and get some stuff done. Maybe I'll do something that I enjoy, do something nice for myself. You should go do something kind for yourself. I'll talk to you guys soon. Love ya.